Well, after all that, welcome. Thank you for coming along, guys. If you're coming now or later, I thought I'd just do a random one because John's obviously at the game. So I just do a random one on my own channel. Probably get about half a cat watching this, and that's absolutely fine. If you are watching, thank you very much. But yeah, so we just lost 3-2 to Man City. Oh, gutted about that. Look, Man City are a really good side. I mean, we'll get into it, but we're bringing on Lewis Hall. They're bringing on Kevin De Bruyne. You can't really hide from how close that is. Away from what we are as a club from each other. But we're negative at times today as well. But yeah, start 11. We'll get into that first, maybe. Start 11 was it's to be expected. Gillen now for injury. So we had to be Miley in midfield with Bruno and Longstaff. Same back four. You had Bradford in goal. You had Isaac, Almiron, and Gordon up front. And City just got so many choices, so many different players they can go with. They've got the likes of, like we said, De Bruyne on the bench, Grealish on the bench. All these big talent that some of them can come on for City. It's just ridiculous, really, how much talent they have, how much good players they have to come on. Game kicks off. Yeah, I think we're very negative to start off with. I know Man City are a very good side, but I think we are within 5 minutes already up against it. Low block, all 11 pretty much behind the ball. City running the show, just passing. Got them behind a few times, did cause us some trouble. In that first little bit as well. We just looked a bit stuck, a bit lost with the back, with it just being so low block. Frustrating, I know. I guess if you go all out against it, you get punished. So it's one of those, I know, that you get punished if you go at them 100%. So I get that. It's not obviously going to work every time. But yeah, I just feel we're a bit over negative. Yeah. All right, Alan. How's it going, mate? Yeah, me too. Gutted. Yeah. Just feel we started the game a bit negative. City kind of dominated the game for most of the game, really, apart from when we get into it. The counter-attacks here and there kind of worked at times. But yeah, so, City are probing, all this possession, all of that's going in their favour, obviously. TNT Sports, though, my God, I put it on my thing here without the banner off. It was Man City Fans TV. It was disgrace. It was just, Andy McCoy's just done me all right as well. And he was moaning on about how great, and they are a good team. I'm not saying they're not, but you had him, you had blooming Darren, whatever his name is, moaning on, wanting City to win, going on about how great they are, how brilliant they are, how haven't they scored, what's going on. So their first goal, it comes from us actually kicking the ball out. Gordon's tried to get onto the end of it. He's been taken out. No eyes on the ball from their player. Completely thrown Gordon off the ball. Ref doesn't give it. They go up. It's great. Obviously it is a foul. I think they get a foul, pretty much exactly the same foul. They get a bit later on in the game, but whatever. Foul isn't given. They go up. It's a great move. I wonder whether if Gordon hadn't been fouled, whether he would have been able to cover, because they have got a lot of space. Dan Burns caught out of position, but I don't know whether that's because he's covering for where Gordon should have been. Maybe I'm being overcritical, saying that Burns should have got there. But it's an outrageous finish. You can't. It is unbelievable. Back heel. it's a stunning goal. It really, if we scored that goal, it's, we scored some really good goals today, but that was, it was incredible. It was a really, really nice finish there for their first goal. It really was. I think all of us, when that went in, I certainly thought, here we go. We're one down in early minutes of the game, really. This is going to be, they're going to steamroller us if we keep playing how we play. It's just going to be 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. They are a team that can do it to anyone. I don't care who you are. Yeah, Alan, mate, I agree 100%. Yeah, De Bruyne is just, isn't he? He's just a different level above of what we have. But yeah, it was weird. So, we go 1-0 down, and it's almost like some lads get a bit of a kick in the head, a little bit. I'm not saying we played brilliantly, but just something clicked, and then we started thinking that we could get them on the counter, and they really looked vulnerable on the counter attack all game. We really did. Like, I know second half we didn't really do enough of it, but they were getting caught. I mean, we got an offside, and it was off. I mean, even though they didn't replay it, it was offside. We did put the ball in the back of net, but it was offside. No, nothing too controversial about that at all. And then we just, Shah's got the ball. I think he does really well. He's really strong. He's passed it into Bruno Guimaraes, and his ball. I mean, I was talking about David Silva with that finish. Bernardo Silva, not David Silva. Get my Silvers mixed up. I was talking about his finish, but I tell you what, if there's a better pass, maybe De Bruyne's for their third goal might have been on as good, maybe. But I tell you what, this pass to Isaac is something special. He's clipped it just over. Isaac's done really well. First touch is brilliant. He's got the defender on the inside, goes on the outside, and it's a stunning finish. It's unbelievable. I mean, this lad is special. Isaac he is. Don't sell him. I don't want him to be sold. Unbelievable finish. It is outstanding. I mean, 4 goalkeepers aren't saving that. It's unreal. And then our tails are up. Got the 1-1, bit of confidence. We're purring. We seem a bit more confident. Legs got a bit more energy in them. And then yeah, we come again. It was only a couple of minutes after that we Man City kick off. And again, it's the opposite side this time. So it's a pass to Gordon, and Gordon's just got got him on toast. He's his pace, his power, brilliant. He's cut inside, and that finish again. I mean, his finish again is unreal. It is so good. It's crossed. It's just right into the corner. Goalkeeper's got no chance whatsoever. I should have mentioned, sorry, that it was obviously their second goalkeeper in goal. Edison in the offside gets clipped in the leg. Obviously goes off injured. Nearly caused. We should have really gone one up from that, really. He kicks out because he's not even. He shouldn't have been. I mean, what the medical staff are doing there for him is mad. They've let him play on. He shouldn't have, because he obviously tried to pass it to us. Gordon maybe could have put the ball in the net, if I'm being ultra critical. Almiron and Bruno get it 6s and 7s, and Bruno ends up hitting nothing, and it kind of peters out. Such a shame, because I feel that should have been a goal, really, but it is what it is. We obviously do get something in the game. So after that, they have to take off Edison. I mean, the backup's fine. They're still doing fine. He plays. Ortega plays lots of games for them. He's not exactly someone who doesn't. I know. Yeah, I need to check that actually, because I did worry about Bruno. He went in for a tackle. Stupid tackle from Bruno. He's not getting the ball, and he's got in the back of Rodri, I think it is. He's got in on the back of. It's a silly challenge. It's definitely yellow. And then he's nibbled at him a bit later as well. Caught him on the toe. I mean, you see it a lot, but stupid challenge, especially I think that was after the yellow. Rodri's left a bit of an elbow on him and got a yellow himself. Got wound up by it. But this is where I get worried for Bruno, that he's on that cusp of always, he gets a bit too emotional, and he leaves. As we saw, he's left that foot in. He's left. If that's never yellow, I'll be pissed about it. But I mean, could we moan about him getting sent off if he gets that second yellow there? It's a worry with him. I'll look up in a sec how many he's got over the time, how close he is to his second ban. But it's just naughty, isn't it? It's just naughty. He's naughty to leave that in. Rodri's obviously got annoyed at him and cracked back. But it's just, Bruno at times does worry me because he's a red waiting to happen at times. So that's a bit scary. Luckily, it was fine. Ref had a weird game, I felt. He was very generous to Man City at times. Over harsh on us other times as well. I felt some of the fouls they were getting, I thought were very soft. And we weren't getting a lot ourselves from him, which was frustrating at times. The replays weren't, they kept showing. I mean, again, it was a bit like Klopp the other day, wasn't it? When we played them at Anfield, that the narrative, and they got the narrative they wanted. TNT and the commentators, they spent most of the game looking at De Bruyne and his new hair. He's got more hair than me, so fair play to him. They spent most of the game looking at him or Pep or whatever. We had ball in possession one time. I remember this. We had the ball in possession, and they spent the whole time we had the ball in possession looking at De Bruyne and talking and moaning on about him. They're absolutely obsessed with him. Really are obsessed with him. So they got the narrative they wanted in the end. So more power to them. Yeah, Alan, mate, I tell you what, we really missed Joe today. I mean, Man City, obviously they're a great team, but they were that ball through the middle. We were getting done over and over and over again. It was doing my head in how often they were getting in through that one ball. And it's a ball that's done us for a while. And I think Joe just does that, does a bit better there. I mean, obviously, didn't think Sean was terrible today, but, you got Miley, who's obviously doing the best he can, but he's a 17-year-old lad. And then you got Bruno, who I thought had a really good game, Bruno, today, for the most part. Bruno's quite good, apart from the stupid stuff with the yellows and just, being a bit over sensitive in that. But yeah, it's just kind of, we're asking people to do jobs that aren't their jobs, especially in games like this. Just causes us a bit of, we just seem a bit lost at times when we don't have that person to hold in there. It wouldn't have been great to have Tonali fit and firing in this game, in any game. I think he would have been good for that, just holding there, or just leaving Sean there and whatever, however it would have worked. We're desperate for that. But judging by the press conference, obviously we know Eddie's been a bit of a liar in the past, so I'm not going to take it 100% seriously, but he's saying we've got no friends, no one wants to help us out, no one wants to loan to us, no one wants to do anything for us. We can't buy anyone. We can't even buy Solanke. It's all rubbish. I thought that anyway. I said that already, that I thought that was all speculation and nonsense, but apparently can't afford nothing. I don't know. I don't know what to expect anyone in this window or not, or just, because it looks like, Joe's out for 6 weeks. Willock, we thought he was coming back. He looks like he's out for longer. Barnes has just disappeared into a black hole. He was meant to be coming back, and he's, there's nothing on him, and and then Anderson looks like he's out for longer, and man, it's just there's never any positive news when it comes to our injuries, is there ever? It just seems to be, they seem to be like a week before coming back, and then they get cropped again, or something happens, and they just seem to be out for longer, or it's frustrating. We never had the ability to get forward, and that's what I think cost us in the second half. I mean, obviously we're going at 2-1 up in the first half. It's a good effort from the lads. They've done very well. I was a bit worried about the second half. I was wondering what our tactic would be. and sadly, it was very much like PSG. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. It was just like PSG away a little bit. We've tried to dig in and just kind of get through with the 2-1. And yeah, we didn't do anything in the second half, really. We didn't really try to counter at time when we tried here and there. I think Isaac got through early on in the second half. I mean, he's hit it straight at the goalkeeper. If that goes in, obviously it's 3-1. Who knows what happens then? But we looked tired in the second half. We defended well, but it was worrying. And then you're just defending for your lives. You're getting the last tackle in. You're getting the block in here and there. Yeah, loan deals maybe. Yeah, the bench was shocking, isn't it? It really is. Just you still got 2 goalkeepers on the bench. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what the point of that is. They never, Gillespie's never getting on. What's the point? Put a youth player on the pitch. He's not going to get on not on the pitch. Sorry, on the bench. It's just a bit of experience. They're never going to play, are they? I mean, he's got some of the kids on the bench today. We know they're not getting out on the pitch, so I don't really see why having one more makes any difference really to what happens in the game. But there you go. It's Eddie. I'm not the manager. Eddie Howe is. But yeah, and then obviously we're just holding on and holding on and holding on. You're thinking, God, like we look even more negative in the second half than the first half. Especially with I was hoping we were going to use that counter attack a bit more, but like I said, we did a little bit early in the second half, but then we just dug in, just kind of tried to keep that 2-1, and that we all knew the inevitable was going to happen. Oh, so sorry. Oh, excuse me, sorry. It's because we're bored of seeing this happen. Like I said, the narrative was De Bruyne's coming on. Look at his hair. Look at De Bruyne. Look at him. He's brilliant. Look how great Man City are. The inevitable happens. He gets subbed on. They've got a free kick when he gets subbed on. A bit of a soft one, I felt, the free kick. Very soft for the free kick there. And I thought the inevitable was going to happen. It didn't. De Bruyne just hits it straight at the wall. But yeah, it was just seemed to come out of nowhere, didn't it? His second goal. It just seemed to we didn't seem to look in any danger before it happened. But this is a problem. This is the thing we're bringing on a player of that ilk. You've got a player like De Bruyne who picks up the ball and it's a stunning finish. It's just ridiculous. It really, most of the goals today, apart from the last one, just a really good. It's a really good finish at the end. It's more of the pass from De Bruyne that's got the goal from old Sideshow Bob there. He's done all right, but De Bruyne makes the third goal. But that second goal, I mean, it just, what can you do? It's just like Joe's saying, deserves something out of the game. De Bruyne, he is, isn't he? He's just, like I say, it's a ridiculous finish in that corner. He's just passed into net. I've seen some, we'll get onto it a bit more in a sec, but I've seen some people kick, this is Twitter, people kick off about Dubravka for that goal in particular, but I don't know what you're going to do. I don't, it's a stunning finish. And then we're holding on. We really are. We were even more so. We were holding on at 2-1. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Miley's brother. He was on in pre-season, I think, from memory, as well. So yeah, you're right. What we need, there aren't as many changes as we can use. I'm not saying that they're going to be as good as the players that we have from the pitch. I get that. We got, the bench is full of people like Matt Ritchie, good servant, but he's not, he's not the guy anymore. You've got people like Kraft on the bench, Lewis Hall on the bench, who did get some time, a little bit of time in the game. You just got all these players who, is it going to make a difference you bring them on? Maybe, but Howe just doesn't trust them or doesn't want to bring them on, because the only sub we end up making is Lewis Hall in the end, which is, frustrating. But that again, I'm not Eddie Howe. There's surely something that's causing that to happen. There must be a reason why he doesn't sub other players on. There must be. It can't not be, because we looked a bit lost in that second, especially after the 2-2. We're then digging in even harder just to get the point. It would have been a good point at that, where we were. Yes, it's gutting because you're 2-1 up, but if anyone would have offered you 2-2, we would have bitten your hand off. And then you get into 90 minutes and you're thinking, right, how many minutes have we got to add on? I'm thinking, is it going to be 6 or 7? They're going to take the mick again. The ball goes up and it's 3 minutes and you're thinking, right, okay, done a good job. Just dig in for those last couple of minutes. And then, it's just, subs made, Oscar Bob's on. And then, De Bruyne again, just all right. He is given too much space. I can't be too harsh. The lads are dead on their feet. They really are. In the 80th minute, the lads are dead, on their feet, really. This is where having subs, Willock, all these, Barnes, Elliot Anderson, all these subs that could have helped. Whether Richie and all that, they come on and they do a similar job, I don't know. It's hard to know without it happening. But we've only got Lewis Hall on as a sub, so we're struggling with legs. And it's the pass that makes the goal. It's a phenomenal. It's as good as Bruno. Well, not maybe, I don't know. We haven't given him too much credit, but it's a great pass. And Bob's got his feet sorted a little bit. He's kind of lost it a little bit, but then it gets his feet sorted, and Dubravka's kind of maybe done the worst thing of the game and just kind of let him have it a little bit. But I can't be too harsh. Dubravka was actually really good, I thought. Saved some good things, did some good stuff. Kept us in the game at times. So I'm not be too hard on Dubravka. I don't think he's definitely not the worst player on the pitch by any means. I don't think anyone played that badly either. I just think, like I say, we're just we're a team of that quality, and they just pass you to death, don't they? You just you get tired from the amount of passes they have. That's what City do to anyone. Again, they do this to anyone. Man City, I don't care what team you are, whether you're Real Madrid or whatever. Man City does to anyone. They'll pass you to death, and they've got the quality to score in the last minute. That's just what that's what they are. Yeah, I know. It's just gutting, isn't it? Livramento being out of a sickness, just our luck. On top of that, injuries, like you said, it's just what is. Again, I'm not pretending to know inside out, but there must be something with the injuries. People come back and then they get cropped again. Joe, I mean, it's a bit of a tackle in a Sunderland game that's caused it. So some of these just seem like freak accidents or whatever, but it just seems to keep happening, doesn't it? Or the ones that frustrate me in particular, it's not even the ones that happen. Anyone can get injured on the pitch. So, do you know what I mean? It's one of those, isn't it? Anyone can get injured on the pitch. The injuries that annoy me more are the ones where Eddie will say, Willock's back in like a week, or he'll say like he's nearly ready, he's nearly there, and then the next update is he's had there's something's gone wrong. He's had another drawback. He's out for another couple of weeks again. Those are the ones that frustrate me. Whether that's something to do with rushing them to get back, or whether it's the fitness staff not doing a job, or a player. There must be something behind it. There's got to be. So that's a frustrating thing for me, because Harvey Barnes in particular, what's happened to him? Seriously, he was meant to be out for I can't remember what Eddie said originally. I can't remember the exact amount of weeks Eddie said when he got his first injury, but it's just since then. It's just been, he's just and again, he's just disappeared off the face of the planet. No real updates on him. We were hoping he's going to be back by the end of January, but that's not looking likely anymore. And it's just, do you know what I mean? It's just like, your big your bigger signings of the summer, it's been out for most of the season, and probably is going to be out most of the season. Do you know what I mean? Like when's he going to be back? February, March now. Just seems to go on forever with him in particular. And then you have a big signing, Tonali. It's not even an injury. It's bloody, he gets done for the betting stuff. Yeah, fine. That has to happen if he's been guilty of it, which he was found. And then he's serving his ban for that. But again, the other people who are involved in it are still playing. That frustrates me, but is what it is. Just been our luck this year. This has been our luck this year. It's just been stuff that is happening, people out, injuries, all that. It's just been the whole season this time. I mean, I can't wait. If we have an injury-free season next year, well, we won't because no one ever has that. But if we just have like 1 or 2 injuries next season, we'll be in heaven. We'll just be so happy. Just because it's just getting boring now. It's just getting boring every time. But yeah, so then full time happened. Obviously 3-2. City's class came out in the end. We are paying the price for not having those changes. But the shambles for me in particular, I mean, look, I felt the performance was okay. It wasn't brilliant. It was better than it has been for definite. I mean, City are a great side, so I don't be too hard on the lads because I think if we play like that against most teams, especially the first half in particular, after the first goal, I'll make it very specific. If we play like that, in particular, I think we win most games. Where we're playing. If we play Luton like that at St James's Park, we beat them. No problem for me. So that was good. That I see winning most games, especially if we play after that little period of time after that first goal went in. That's more like Newcastle. That's more like us. That looked more, we looked passionate. We looked hungry. We looked fit. We looked raring to go, which was nice. And then like we're saying, it just those lack of substance stuff. That's when legs are gone. I mean, Isaac looked dead after 60, 70 minutes, didn't he? I know, man. And it's just, I mean, it's just, isn't it? Yeah, 9 months to heal. That's the thing, isn't it? Whether the medical team's told Eddie it's this many weeks, and then someone's gone, hang on, like you said, like they go, no, that's a 9 month. What are you doing? Don't say that. And then he has to maybe go back on that or whatever's happened. It's just a funny one. Like you say, probably don't see Barnes till next. Well, we're not going to see any. Even if he comes back, like let's say he comes back in March, for example, just as a random date out there, he still needs to get match fit, which takes more than 1 game. So it is realistically, if he comes back, it's going to be near the end of the season, like the peak end of the season. And then you're only going to get the best out of him if you have a full season from next season anyway. So it's, like you said, it will be like having, and I hate using this because it's a Padre saying, isn't it? But next season, we're going to have what's going to feel like 2 brand new signings, because we're going to have Tonali back and we're going to have Barnes back. Well, hopefully, if they're fit. Willock as well. Hopefully, we have more of a season from Willock next season, because that's just been gutting not having someone like him. I think we've really missed him for midfield as well. That's been a big blow. But yeah, sorry. The big thing that was upsetting me, I don't know if it upsets me, but it just does my head in, is the kickoff online. I know we expect it, but honestly, some of the takes I've seen on X, this is what caused me to want to do a reaction. One, I knew that John was obviously at the game, and I don't think he's going to be able to do like a reaction at all. So I thought I'd just do a random one anyway, just so there's some form of reaction to the game. But yeah, anyway, so him not doing it, and then I just got bored of seeing like a whole page of people going, sack Eddie Howe, sack this, and we're crap, we're rubbish, we're a terrible team, we can't do this. What? Like, they do my head in, some of these people, they really do. Yeah, mate, honestly. next season, imagine this team being fitter and having less injuries or having that ability to rotate. We're going to be, I think next season is going to be a lot more fun than this. Obviously, this season's been a bit of a pain, but it's one of those where we're expecting a drop off. To be quite honest with you, we're still in the FA Cup. Fulham away is a winnable tie. Fulham are a good side, but it's a winnable tie. Play anywhere near as good as we did today, I think we're fine against Fulham. I think we'll be okay and get through that. And then you get, hopefully, a home favourable draw in the next ball out if you do get through. And then you just don't know. If you get a favourable couple of draws, then you're in a quarter or a semi-final in the FA Cup, and maybe that's our cup. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. And then, for me, if we finish in the Europa League spots, I think that, not as good as last year. Of course it isn't, but for me, that's fine. Having a decent run in the FA Cup, if we can, finish in the Europa League spots or in and around that, 6th or 7th. Look, it's not the perfect season, but for where we've had to, what we've had to deal with this season, I think, it's enough. It's enough. Be fine for now. Again, Europe next season would be fun. Yes, it's not Champions League, but I don't think many of us expected us to do that again in 2 seasons in a row. Yeah, exactly. Eddie's going nowhere. Yeah, he's our project. Yeah, I agree, Alan, mate. This is what I mean. The kickoff on X in particular, it's been embarrassing. That's what I mean. It just makes me wish that I could. I don't think some of these people were fans when Pardew or when Pardew was in charge. I don't think they were fans when they weren't fans when people like Ruud Gullit was in charge. They're not even old enough probably to remember, or they probably don't even know about those days under managers like and regimes like that. Thinking of when we had we had bloody Mike Ashley at the helm. We had Dennis Wise as director of football. You've got Joe Kinnear as manager, who's naming your players wrong. You've got Chris Hughton doing a great job and getting sacked for no reason. In Mike Ashley's eyes, because Pardew became available and it's whatever, great. They just see some of these fans. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Like, these fans I swear these fans weren't there when we were under John Carver. They weren't. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe they were fans. When we went to that, what was it? 12? No, it was more than that. How many games in a row did we lose under John Carver? I can't remember. It just seemed to go on forever. And then we finally got that win at West Ham that bloody kept us up that season. We were just plummeting one way under him, even though he was the best manager in the league, according to him. Maybe keep quiet next time, Mr. Carver. That was a bizarre statement, that was. But, losing all those games under him and just having no direction, and then, then having things like, McLaren come in and then Bruce come in. It's all this stuff that I just don't think that, I can't understand these fans that go mad at Eddie Howe when he's brought in, attractive football. Yes, okay, we haven't done that a lot today, but we are playing Man City. I have to remember that. Some people are thinking that we're just going to rock up today and beat Man City 5-0 or 4-0. They're mad. They're on planet cuckoo land, some of these fans, I swear. And it's just frustrating seeing this sort of reaction when we've lost a game like that. It is gutting. I get that. We've lost it in the late stages of a game again. But we haven't lost to nobodies. We've lost to the bloody treble winners. It's just, I swear that gets lost on some of these people. These are the team that won the treble, and the World Cup final. And I know it's a pointless trophy, but they've got all. They're a great team, Man City. It wouldn't shock me if they won the Champions League this year. It wouldn't shock me if they won the Premier League this year. It wouldn't shock me if it wouldn't be a shock to me. I don't think it would be a shock to anyone if they did all of those things. They could still do the treble again. They really could. They could win the FA Cup. I'd hate it because I want us to win it. They could win the Premier League and they could win the Champions League. And who would say they can't? They got Haaland coming back. They got De Bruyne back fit now. They've got a good team. They've got a great team there. Do you know what I mean? This is what we've just lost to a team like that that's won all those trophies, and we're moaning on. Not we, as in us, but this particular group of fans are moaning on about Eddie getting sacked and he's mismanaging games and blah blah. And, or maybe you could maybe I'll talk about mismanagement, but like I keep thinking, if you bring Matt Ritchie on, for example, does he do any better? Did they not score the third goal because Matt Ritchie's on the field? I don't know. It didn't happen, so I can't say. Lewis Hall came on. They scored the goal, so he did make a change. They score. Do we bring on? Do we bring on the likes of Parkinson who's on the bench again? You bring him on. Do we still lose the game? Probably. It's just. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know what some of these fans want at times from us. If you've got a fully fit squad, you got Joe Willock, you got Hart, blah blah blah, all these people off the bench, we probably win that game, or we get a draw, probably. Whatever. I just don't know. The kickoff just seems bizarre to me. Like they just want to be, they want to be annoyed. They want to be like as if we're guaranteed. It's also like you feel we're guaranteed. Sorry, to top four, and I hate this because this has never been a mindset of a real Newcastle fan ever, and I'd never want to be one of those fans who was like, we deserve top four because of this and that. Ooh, no thanks. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You got it, Alan. They're Mackhams, or they're new fans who just want success like this. They think that we had to take over and that we're just going to take, we're just going to be this big, we're not there yet. This is going to be a project. This is going to be a 3 or 4 year project, especially with where the finance regulations are coming in, with FFP. I'm bored of saying those words, but it's just, that's where it is. We haven't had, this year we haven't had be able to count seller money, Adidas money, Champions League money haven't come into fruition yet. That's next. We can start counting that for next season. So we still haven't seen the benefit of that. The club's going in the right direction finance-wise, which is good. We still made a loss, but it was a small loss. We still made commercial profit in a sense, 2 years in a row, which shows good progression there. We just still got a lot of people on the wage bill. That's the other thing that's also causing issues as well. We've got players like Hayden and Ryan, all these players that need to be moved on as well to get that relieved. And as much, and again, I don't want it to happen, but if we do have to do something like a Coutinho thing, I mean, it would be horrible. It'd be horrible. It'd be like losing Andy Cole for me, if we had to sell one of our big players to just get that bit of money. But whether it's a turning point or whatever, Liverpool fans always talk about it being a turning point for them. So I don't know. I don't want. I want them to stay, but it's just, yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? It's just, this is what's frustrating, isn't it? About the games they're wanting for us. They've got the Fulham game being at 7:45, I think it is now. Do you know what I mean? And then the last train being 9 o'clock. That's ITV4, but still, again, it's just like, I'm not being funny. Like, I love Newcastle, of course, but who cares about Fulham versus Newcastle in the nicest possible way, apart from Newcastle and Fulham fans? Do you know what I mean? Like, who would have cared if that was on at 3 o'clock? Who would have been bothered? I wouldn't have been bothered. I don't think any Newcastle fan would have been bothered. No Fulham fan would have been bothered if that was 3 o'clock kickoff or 12 o'clock kickoff or whatever. At least then you can get the train back home. But because they just, for some reason, want to put it on TV, I still don't know why they want to put this on TV. 7:45 kickoff, and then you've got fans who are going to be stuck or having to rely on lifts or cars or whatever. Train finishes at 9 o'clock that day for the Newcastle fans. It's just don't think. And you got Arsenal coming up. You got Villa coming up at 8 o'clock. Again, I think the last train there is 10 o'clock. Arsenal, I think that's similar. That's 7:45 or 8 o'clock kickoff. And I think again, from when I looked it up, last train was like 10 o'clock or 10:15. Somewhere like that. They just don't. These people just don't care about fans, especially Newcastle fans. We get the biggest long end of the stick there. I mean, this is the only advantage of me not living up north anymore. That it's not as much as a trek, but I still obviously drive up when I go to the games. So it's one of those, isn't it? Oh, okay, that's good. So Hendrick's at least off of our wages. That's some small relief, isn't it? Having that off of the books. I wonder whether our not big asset, but I still think that Wilson could demand not a great big fee. I'm not saying he's going to get you Bruno Guimaraes money, but Wilson, I think, to Saudi Arabia, I think that could probably get you 40 million. I reckon if he pushed it, because he's he's a striker and he has that. Well, I'm not saying he would want the move, but that would obviously free up a bit of money. Longstaff, I can't see that happening. I can't see Longstaff getting sold. Miley, don't want him to be sold. I don't think that would happen either. Botman, I hope not. I don't think so, but I hope not. I think sadly the most likely candidates for if we had to, I think it would be the coin toss of would it be Isaac or would it be Bruno? I would say Joe Linton, but I think he's still underrated in a lot of other teams' eyes, which is fine because I want to keep all three of them. But just with that release clause, that's the only reason I could see Bruno being the most likely to go. Not again, I don't think he'd want to go. I think he loves it here. Well, he does. He does love it here, but I just wonder whether that would be the reason why we had to sell him. Someone's triggered it. He thinks, well, they've triggered it. I might go, and then that's how we lose him. And then we do have funds. It's a big one, isn't it? It's a problem if you make let's say you make 120 million off of him, for example. You can bring in 4 or 5 players with that money because of where FFP works. You'll then alleviate it to obviously spend that money. But it's just, yeah, here we go. What we got? Paul replaced Miggy. Oh, yeah. Crystal Palace and Murphy. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, I'd rather have. I mean, Miggy played. He played okay today. He wasn't brilliant. He wasn't terrible today. He certainly wasn't awful. But he's someone who you could sell. But again, it's just kind of, what Miggy are you selling? If he's in that patch of scoring goals and looking confident, then people are going to pay more money. But if someone comes in from Almiron, I struggle to think realistically what we can ask for him. If Anthony Gordon was £40 million, and that was us doing a bit of wheeling, doing a bit of a wheeler dealer thing, does Miggy go for more than 30? Hard to see how he goes for more than 30. Maybe 35 if you're being generous. I can't see Miggy going for 40, realistically. And then Murphy. I'd like to keep Murphy personally just because he does have that passion for Newcastle. But again, like you say, Alan, if it gets you a bit of money, what would Murphy go for? Again, like, he's a very good player when he wants to be, but he can have his days off. And what do Crystal Palace have as in money to spend? Again, I'm thinking roughly, what would Murphy go for? 25, 30? Maybe, if we're lucky. maybe 30 million if we pushed it. I don't think it for much more than that. I mean, I know the market's gone mad, but just where these players are, Palace looking at Target as well. Well, yeah, well, that'd be good. No offense. He doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere near back in the team, even when he's back fit. Again, like what will we get for Target? 10 million, maybe. If I'm being generous. Whew, he's probably going for like 7.5. He's probably getting under 10 million, isn't he? That's a tough one to put a price on that Target. Again, if he sold him after his great season, then it's more money, definitely more money. But he hasn't made much impact for us since coming to us full time. It's a shame. I didn't have a look in when Burn was playing very well, which is just one of those things, isn't it? When he did come in, he looked shaky, dodgy. I remember in pre-season in the Salah Cup, he looked really shocking. He really did look terrible. And I was a bit worried about him being our first choice. And then obviously Burn came in. So, Burn's done a better job at times. Again, I thought Burn was okay today, most of the game. He did get caught here and there, but I don't think Burn was the worst player on the pitch. I don't think anyone had a bad game today, really. Defensively, I think we looked quite good at times. It's just, again, tiredness and some of the balls and that second finish from De Bruyne. You've got a game with the first goal being outstanding, our 2 goals being ridiculous, and more than good enough goals to win the game, which is another shame because they're just special goals. Then you've got De Bruyne's finish, which is incredible. It is mad how good that is. And then you've got the last goal, which it's not a great finish. It's neat. It's a tap-in, really, but the pass is unreal. And he does get a bit caught with his feet, but he gets out of his feet and gets it in, and Dubravka's kind of on the floor. Whether he could have done better, maybe, but like I said before, I don't want to get too much. I don't want to get too much on Dubravka because I think he had a good game overall, but it's one of those. It's a tough one to take. We got quite a bit of time off now before the Fulham game, so we have got some time to get players back up to another level of fitness. Got some break. Hopefully Wilson will be back by the time we get back. Joe isn't going to be ready, which is a shame. Don't know who. Probably no one else will be back by then. Maybe, again, Murphy, possibly, but it's just our luck. Probably not. So at least we do have a bit of a break, and then we're back for Fulham in the cup. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's about having a decent replacement. You're so right, Alan. Yeah. If you get rid of Murphy, who are you getting in? And again, for me, especially on that side, if you are keeping Almiron, you need someone to come in and be like either his replacement or someone who's going to push him to be better. That's what we need. That's the thing that I felt that's what was keeping Gordon on such good form. And I thought Gordon was fantastic again, actually, for a lot of the game, for a lot of the first half in particular today. But that's what I felt was driving Gordon a bit at the start of the season, that you got Barnes who could come on, so that's pushing you to play that little bit better. That's positive. You've got Botman who, when he was out injured, you've got Lascelles who stood up and did a really good job. You've got Livramento who's come in and pushed Burn a bit. Burn's not fantastic by any means, but you have got healthy competition. If Livramento has a couple of bad games, you've got Dan Burn who can maybe push him. You've got Botman who, again, obviously is fantastic, but if Botman has some poor games for whatever reason, Lascelles is pushing him. Shah's someone who probably needs someone there to push him a bit more. Not that he's playing badly, but again, it's always healthy to have that competition, isn't it? It's a bit like Nick Pope. When Nick Pope's fit, he knows that realistically Dubravka's still very much number 2. I mean, next season, I don't think I can't see Dubravka even being in the club next season. If I'm being honest, again, I guess it depends on how much money we got to spend in the summer. Whether we're just saving all our pennies now and trying to go a bit bigger in the summer. But yeah, I mean, if Dubravka's still here next season, then we haven't really gone forward on the goalkeeper front for me. Yeah, so most positions we do have someone pushing that person to play a bit better. I mean, when we have a fully fit midfield, you have got people like Tonali who can push you. You've got Willock who can push you. You've got you've got a lot of talent there. Anderson who can play well. So that's healthy competition there. And that's what I think. With Isaac, when Wilson was playing well and when he's fit, you've got those two who are fighting for that place. But I think we need another striker anyway to push that as well. But if you have a position for everyone and someone fighting for it, that pushes you to be better. I mean, keep saying about it, but look at City. Every player has that second player who can come in and do a job. If you're not having a great game or you're not playing that well or whatever, you've got a player, even sometimes in some positions, 2 players who can take your place. I mean, look at the people that didn't even use on the bench today. Grealish didn't even get off the bench. That's 100 million on the bench. Just him, just one player, 100 million, not even step foot in the game. You've got De Bruyne coming off to increase the ability they have. Again, an outstanding player coming onto the pitch, worth a lot of money. If he was sold today, God knows what he'd be worth. He'd be worth more than 100 million in the market where it is now. No problem. Probably more towards 200 million because he's so bloody good. That's where City have got it on us. They've got a lot of teams. They've got more play. They've got better players than Liverpool. They've got players than Arsenal. They've got better players than Aston Villa. City are the best team in the league by quite a distance. With lack of FFP in their days, that's what's helped them there, of course. We won't moan on about the charges because that's boring and easy. Whether they're guilty or not, time will tell with that. But it doesn't particularly bother me. I don't think they've won because of that. It doesn't bother me at all. If they get the points taken off them, then they get the points taken off them, and it will be less important that they've won such trophies. But who cares, really? I mean, they're still a good team. They're coached very well by one of the best managers in the world. And you got people on Twitter moaning on about Eddie Howe getting sacked, and someone moaning on that, Pep Guardiola has outclassed Eddie Howe. I'm not being offensive. I love Eddie Howe, but of course he has. What are you talking about? Pep Guardiola is one of the best. Probably is in the argument of being the best manager in the world ever. You got Ferguson up there. As much as I hate Alex Ferguson, he has to be in a conversation. Mourinho has to be in that conversation, as much as he does my head in as well. But Pep's up there for one of the best managers in the world. And people are saying he's outclassed Eddie Howe. Well, yeah, really? Of course he has. It's bizarre. Some people, I really don't know what they're smoking. Some people. Exactly. That's it, isn't it, Alan? They've had all these years to build the squad. They've been able to go out and get the best manager, best everything, everything. This is what we want to be. This is the thing. This is where we're not going to have it now. It's not going to happen now. We're going to be, we're going to be doing this next season when we've gone through a bad patch, I'm sure. Maybe even the season after when we've had another bad patch of games. This is going to happen. We're going to have this. It's not going to be next season that we win the league. It's not going to be the season after. It's going to take time. And anyone thinking that this is going to be quick and we're going to start winning every cup everything on the planet from this season and next, you're following the wrong club, in my opinion. If you're in this for the glory and all of that, it's the wrong. As much as I love my club, you're following the wrong club, my friend. Go support Man City, go support Arsenal, whatever. Or maybe not Arsenal. Go spot one of those guys because they're the ones you want to follow if you want instant success. Ours is going to be slow. It just is. We're going to give effort. We're going to give, passion. We're going to have, the best fans in the league every time, home and away. No problem with that. We'll allow it as fans always, wherever we go. We're going to have that behind us. They're going to give any time. They're going to give them players when we can spend more money, and it will come good, but it just won't be tomorrow. It's bizarre. These people that want it now, they want it yesterday. I think they're just too used to watching Chelsea and City. Yeah, exactly. Unless you have a season like that, it's so right. That's it, isn't it? You have a season where City are struggling. You've got Arsenal who are bottling it. You've got Villa. You got Tottenham. You got all these big clubs that aren't doing great, and you're just on this big run. It's just not getting beat, and not getting beat, and not getting beat, and not getting beat, and then somehow you end up winning the title under the noses of everybody. Hell, who knows? It certainly could happen. I think City are going to go through a big rebrand when Pep goes, whenever that is. They'll have that confidence in that sort of rethink of how they're going to be. Arsenal, again, Arteta, is he still going to be there? Is he not going to be there? What's their future like if he gets sacked? That'll be another rebuild. Man United, I still think that Ten Hag is really on thin ice there. And again, if he inevitably probably gets sacked, again, you've got to go for another manager. Tottenham, look okay, but they're still getting that project, and they're still looking soft at times and nervy, and still doing Spursy type things. Villa, I think, are over it. They're doing it us this season. They're over achieving this season like we did last season. So I don't know if that's sustainable for Villa, especially into the next couple of seasons. So you've got all of this kicking off there. And like you said, Alan, then you have all of that happening. Maybe not this next season. Maybe the season whenever this happens, this inevitable Pep leaving, maybe Arteta leaving, maybe Ten Hag not being there. You have all of that happening in that one season, and then we've stuck with Eddie. We've got new signings or whatever. We've stuck with the project, and then maybe that's the year when you do pull out that little surprise, maybe. But it's all ifs and buts and maybes, but it's exciting to think about, especially after a bit of an upsetting loss today. But look, for me, they're glad to give it everything they could today. Second half, like I've always said, I felt we looked just a tiny bit tired, but that's to be expected. I don't think you'd be too hard on the lads for today. I think they've done a decent enough job today. I'd give the performance a 5 out of 10. I think overall, we're not going to mark every player. Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? Exactly. Like they might be stuck as well. They might be stuck with FFP. It's just interesting to see like what will happen with that. How many people are stuck with it or stuck by it, or whether that even gets re-looked at. I mean, again, like I'm talking about 2-3 seasons ahead of us, whether that means a recreation of, another version of bloody Super League comes about or whatever, who knows? It's football was in a funny position at the moment, I think, with all of that up in the air, especially. But yeah, it's just interesting that, we're all here for the same ride. We all want Newcastle to be doing well. It annoys me how divided some of the fan base is. We should be united, really. We want to be together in this journey, because we're all going to be loving it when we're doing great and celebrating. But I think this shows where the real fans are. When you stick with the lads through the bad times, and you're still there no matter what. Again, I was talking. Sorry, I'm repeating myself, I know, but I still don't think some of these fans were there when we got relegated twice. The ones who are moaning on now, I just don't see it. I don't see that they went to. They weren't interested when we were going to Scunthorpe and getting beat in pre-season. Was it Scunthorpe that beat us 4-0 in pre-season or someone horrible like that? And we were like, oh my God, we're in trouble here. When it was Rafa, we got beat by Fulham in the first game, and it was like, oh God, this is going to be horrible. Horrible season in the Championship. We've been through worse than this. We really have. And some fans just need to look themselves in the mirror. Or just realise that I really support Sunderland, who also got beat today. So that was quite interesting. Ipswich, thank you very much. Much appreciated. You made today a little bit better. But yeah, so I've been rambling on for over an hour now. It's pretty good by myself. I think we're planning on doing. I can't remember what we were doing on Monday. I think the plan was to do something on Monday. Oh, it was the Real Talk podcast. I think we're planning to do that Monday or Tuesday when I was talking to John. I think we're trying to get some other fans on. Some Newcastle fans, maybe some opposition fans, Arsenal, Liverpool. Also, moaned on to reach out to some other people. I've been trying to get some other people on. See if they want to come along to do stuff with us as well. What we got here? First half given 8. Yeah, but let's chat in the second half 6. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment there, mate. But yeah, so I've said to try and get people on like Adam, because Adam's a good lad. Matty, I've sent Matty a message and just seen if Matty wants to come along and do something with us. Just things and bits and pieces of that, and then just kind of do some fun stuff while there's no football for a couple of weeks. Well, Newcastle wise, anyways, a few games here and there sporadically around the next couple of weeks, but Newcastle wise, we're not playing again until near the end of the month when we come back before Fulham, and then we have Villa. That'll be tough. Villa away. That'd be a tough game. Looking forward to that though. That should be, if we play like that though a little bit, we should be fine. But that's a tough game. Tough game at Villa. Very tough. But yeah, thank you very much for coming along. Appreciate it. Thanks, Alan, for keeping me company. Appreciate it, buddy. I've seen a few people kind of come in. Appreciate you watching. You didn't come into the comments, but that's fine. I appreciate it anyway. We'll see you on the podcast with John on Monday or Tuesday or whenever it is, whichever day. But yeah, give that a follow. If you really want to follow me, you can. But it'll just be stuff like this moaning on. The only idea I did have, I don't think John was really up for it, so I might still do it. Don't know if it'd be live or not. I don't know how to work live, but I would still really like to do years of Newcastle. I still think that's a good idea. That no one else is. I have looked. No one else is doing it. Nobody is doing it. I have looked on YouTube, and no one else has done it. They've done games, like past games, like the 4-4 Arsenal and stuff. But I mean, as in like a full kind of season review and doing like a really good season and a really bad season. I still think that'd be quite a fun idea. But whether that's live or if I just do a video or something, I'm not sure. But we'll see. Maybe I can convince John to do it on his channel because he obviously has a more considerable following than I do. But yeah, thanks for watching. If this was live or if you watched afterwards, really do appreciate it. If you do want to like the video, that's more than fine. If you want to give it a dislike, that's even better. No problem. Yeah, that'd be good. Best team ever. That's a good one. I like that. The best 11 ever. I'll approach that one as well because I think that'd be a really fun one. Really fun. We could even do like a best and worst because it's always fun to talk about the really bad ones here as well. I'm repping on my Twitter. I'm repping Cisco now just because I keep making jokes about him. So I thought I'd rep him for a little bit just to big up Cisco. What a legend he was at the club. Oh dear, we've had some shockers and some really good ones. So yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, it's like I said, if you want to like it, great. If you want to dislike it, brilliant. If you want to slag it off, no problem. If you want to retweet this and say I'm an idiot, brilliant. No problem. And yeah, so thanks for coming along. I'll put the thumbs up again for the Sunderland fan that said I wouldn't make it home. I did, so thank you very much. And he's still sending me abuse. I'll just keep sending to X. I'm not doing anything about it. Well done, X. Thank you very much. Yeah, 70s to present, that'd be really good. Well, if they don't do it, Alan, I certainly will. And I'll just do like a live one or something and hopefully get a bunch of John's guys to come along to it. So I think that'd be a really fun one and we can debate it all together. Maybe we even do a vote. We'll pick like 4 players so I can do a vote on each one and get like an ultimate 11, both for bad and good. It'd be pretty cool. Nice one. Well, 3-2 to Man City, but a good effort. Lads played all right. Don't think they're that bad. Twitter, sort yourselves out. But yeah, I'll see you next time. I'll see you on the Real Talk podcast. We'll get into it probably more. But thank you for coming along. I appreciate it. All the best, guys. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it anyway. We'll do it no matter what. It sounds good. Nice one. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. All the best.